Executing Vision, and there's two amazing women, mother and daughter, who are doing just that in their own lives, and they want to inculcate some of these nuggets of wisdom in your own life to a conference that will be taking place very, very soon. I'm joined, of course, by Pastor Angie Murenga and her daughter, Althea. Good morning.
Good morning.
How are you?
Very
Thanks so much for being here. You guys look gorgeous.
Thank
Amazing.
you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Kobe.
Pastor Angie, of course, you've been on the show before.
Yes.
It is important for those who are watching for the first time to understand who you are, where you're coming from, and what your vision in your own personal life is.
Wow. First, I'm a mother, which is good. My daughter is here. This is evidence. But I'm a trainer. I'm a motivational speaker. I'm also an executive certified leadership coach. So I'm a coach and a mentor, and I train many leaders. And also I'm an author. I've written a Purpose Leadership Forum manual, and I'm actually writing another book now on executing vision, because I think it's important that people execute their vision. And I run a program called the Purpose Leadership Forum, amongst other things. And then I have like 5 events a year, which is one of them is the one that's coming up in August, that we're going to be talking about executing vision in the marketplace.
I love that topic, because so many people need that right now, and they need the tools to navigate. Althea, tell me a little bit about yourself and where you are in your life right now.
Okay. Currently, I've just finished my undergraduate degree, so I'm now transitioning into going to my postgraduate. But I'm also trying to just execute my vision. Mom has taught me about planning, about your vision and your purpose and everything, so I'm still trying to figure that out in my life. But yeah, step by step, I'm getting there.
Okay, how old are you, if you don't mind me asking?
I'm 21.
You're 21.
Yes.
Congratulations on graduating.
Thank you.
The ceremony hasn't happened yet, has
It's
it?
in July next month.
Okay, it'll be a blast, I'm
Yes,
sure.
yeah.
Now, you have a blog, and you're very interested in fashion. You look fab.
Thank you. You
So
too.
tell me a little bit about that, and,
Okay.
and what made you fall in love with fashion, and what you're doing about it.
Okay, I feel like we all have strengths, and people feel a bit like intimidated or doing, like going forward in life and doing something out of the ordinary. So doing media, but I have a passion for fashion and styling and putting things together. So just over a month ago, I decided to just start my own fashion blog, which is just about fashion and lifestyle, just showcasing my talents and what I like to do.
Okay.
Yeah.
Mom, when you look at your daughter doing so well, I'm sure you've sacrificed so much to get her to where she is and seeing her graduate. But you look at her now at 21, remembering when she was a baby and seeing her vision. Tell me about that from a parent's perspective. What is it like?
It brings a lot of joy to my heart as well. Her dad also has been very involved in her education and her upbringing. But it's just amazing. But I also wonder where the time went, and that also makes me think about vision, that we don't have a very long time to execute this vision, because it's just the other day when she was going to baby class, and now she's this grown-up woman, and I keep saying, I think I missed the memoirs, like how did this child grow up so quickly?
Right.
But I'm very proud of her, and very proud that she's taking her path, and she loves fashion. And of course, with everything, like with vision, we've received positive comments, and people also who think, you know, I let her wear her nice too short skirts and stuff, and they think, you know, I keep telling people I'm the one who's the minister. She's not the minister, you know.
Yeah.
But I'm very proud of her, and very, very happy, very elated. But you know, with mothers worry also. We're just wondering whether we've done everything, and she'll continue in that path. So yeah, so both joy and a bit of sometimes pensive and wondering whether everything's going to work out the way that it should.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now, looking at both of you, and you can come in on this one, executing your vision is a tough, it sounds very nice, but it's very tough to actually do it. It's tough to start. When you, of course, look at your own personal lives and the things that you've wanted for your lives and the goals that you want to attain, it's not an easy thing. How do you do it in your own personal and young life?
I think it's all about starting and overcoming fear, because there's a lot of fear. What do people say? What if I fail? So I think it's just about starting. Like what I want to do is for my media, my purpose, or what I feel I want to do is like impact the way Africa is portrayed abroad and give a positive portrayal of our country.
Right.
So of our continent. So it seems like a big thing. But if you just start, I think God will bring people in your life or make opportunities where it will you'll be able to fulfill that in the long run. So it's about starting. I
It's
think.
just about starting. What can you say
And I just
about
want to jump into the because you know when you're executing vision, the hardest thing to do is to start. So one of the things I just say is just start. You know, just start doing it. And sometimes you can start and hit a snag, but you've got to overcome challenges and obstacles. You know, I love what one of my mentors says, that opposition is a confirmation of your position.
Right.
So sometimes we start something and we don't think there's going to be any opposition, but it is. There's going to be opposition, but it's how you navigate it, whether you can go through the mountain, over the mountain, around the mountain, you know, but you've got to get there. But just starting is so key, because that is like a lift off. It's
Right.
like the first step. You've at least started. And there's so many fears, and I don't know why whenever we want to start something, even when Althea was starting her blog, she was writing to me telling me, oh mom, people will say maybe I have too many clothes, you know, maybe, you immediately you want to start, you have this great idea, then all of a sudden fear comes in. And I I think there's a time I think last year I said to people, to leaders, you know, sometimes we've got to execute what we have. We cannot deny that Althea is blessed. She's an extremely beautiful young woman,
Right.
and she has a good fashion sense. So sometimes the world wants you to play that down. But why do you need to play that down? And that's your gift, you know? And I keep saying that if other people had the gifts that you had, they would be executing them, you know, properly, almost flaunting them, you know?
Right.
She's not supposed to flaunt it, but they would be really exercising that gift. They would be really displaying that gift, you know, because I think people just generally try to make other people feel bad about the gifts they have.
Right.
But if they had those same gifts, they would handle it very, very differently.
They would run 100 miles with that.
They
you know?
would be shouting from the rooftops,
It's
you know,
true.
and they sort of want to make you not shout. But I guess what I was trying to say is that every time we have an idea or want to start something, that fear comes in, but you have to overcome that fear.
You have to
and you
overcome the
just
fear.
have to start.
Okay, Pasanji, let's look at 3 different groups. Let's look at young people, Kina Althea, and let's look at adults, and let's look at older people. When you think about executing vision in any age group and in any capacity, what do you mean when you say that?
Okay, when you're young, like the youth in Althea, you have the whole world in front of you,
It's your
and
oyster.
it's your oyster. You know,
Yeah.
you're out there, you're going out there to do your thing. But when you get older, because especially of when we make mistakes, or we start or we fail, or we hit a roadblock, or we come across a challenge, then that generation, which was I guess my generation, or maybe just a bit younger than me, then they're now more, they understand things. They're like, no, that's not going to work. You know, they're already, and then they let fear take over. They let their circumstances take over, and they shouldn't. Then the older generation, I recently turned 50, and I'm really happy about my 50.
Wow,
Yes,
really?
yes. I was 50 in May.
Happy
Yeah,
birthday.
thank you so much.
Amazing.
Thank you
That's
so
good. You
much.
look fabulous.
Thank you so
Yeah.
much. But as I get older, I'm more bolder and more able to, if I have a vision in front of me, I'm just going to go get it. Why? Because I've learned through life that, you know, I looked at it and I was thinking, I keep saying it's halftime. 50 is done. You know, if the God's word said if we maybe get to 70 plus 10, so 80. So I've got a good maybe 30 years.
To go.
And I was thinking, you know, I don't have time now to think about what you're going to think, what will people say. I'm just going to get on and do it. I don't have that much time. So I've got to do it. So the older people will really execute. If they get a vision, an idea, a download, they'll just go for it.
Right.
Yeah. And I've also found something else at that age is that people take time. Whereas the younger, they're just moving, which is good for them, because then they can just move without inhibition. They are going, they think the world is the oyster, everything will work for me, let's go.
Amazing.
But the older people are more, they actually take time. I met somebody yesterday who told me that he's making an investment in something, but it's taken 4 years of research for him to actually now go forth with the plunge. Now, the young people are not going to wait 4 years.
No,
Yeah?
they're not.
This
they're
is
not.
the instant generation. Everything is instant. Social media is here.
Right.
Technology is here. So they're not going to wait 4 years and research. So I think that's the difference in the different stages of vision.
Okay.
Yeah.
Ladies, we are going to talk about that big thing called failure. I
Yes.
like it.
I think so.
I like failing because it means you're trying.
Yeah.
We'll talk about that in just a second, but we have a caller on the line. Good
Okay.
morning.
Hello, good morning.
Hi, how are you?
I'm fine, thank you.
Excellent. Thank you so much for calling. You have a question or comment for my guests, Jane?
I have a question.
Okay.
You see, like, for me, I work 8 to 5. I have a job in the banking industry,
Okay.
and but my passion is writing. Then from 5, I go to class.
Yes.
Do you, what point do you get and you decide on whether you want to quit your job and then just pursue writing?
Wow. Yeah, I know that feeling.
Yeah. And this is like your job is the one that brings bread back home,
Exactly. But you're sitting in that office just looking at the clock, aren't you?
Yeah.
Right. What can you say? I'll let both of you actually talk to Jane. What can you say,
Okay.
Pastor Andrew?
So Jane, do I talk to Jane then?
Yeah, yes,
So
yes,
Jane,
yes.
first of all, that's a really amazing question. But one thing is that we always have time. We like to say we don't have time, but we do. And what you should do is get pockets of time within your day where you can write. So every day you should execute a part of your vision. So let's say you say, I'll wake up earlier, or I'll do it from 6 to 8 in the morning. Just make the 2 hours a day. And it depends. Maybe you're a morning person, maybe you're an evening person. But carve out time within your day and you could start with 2 hours. I don't like starting with too much. Just start with like 2 hours where I will write. In these 2 hours of every day, I will write. And if you can't do it every day, identify 2 or 3 days. And then your dreams will become valid once you put your whatever it is that you're writing together, you have it edited, you have it published, or whether it's going to be an ebook or whether it's going to be a blog, but you start.
She
and
has
you
to
do it
start.
every day. Yeah.
What can you say to her, hon?
I was gonna say, you just make time for things that you love. So if it's on the weekend, you're supposed to do something with your friends, you can take that time away and say, let me work on this because this is what my passion, and this is something that means a lot to me. So you can always make time for
Let me tell
something
you,
you
yeah,
love.
when you love something, there has to be some form of sacrifice
Yes,
that comes
sacrifice,
along with
yeah.
it. There's something to be said, I've said this on this show so many times, about trying and failing rather than never trying at all. You never want to be that old person talking to your grandkids and telling them, you know what, I wish I had become a radio DJ, I wish I had become an author.
Yeah.
What can you say about stumbling and falling and picking yourself up, Althea?
I think Mom would know more about it because I think I'm just starting.
Right. Do you feel like
So-
you've tried something and failed at all, or you feel like everything has been successful?
Right now, I don't think I could say I've tried something because I'm not yet. I've just been in school. And,
Right, exactly.
And, yeah.
And how did school go?
It was
That's
fine.
a
It
big
was
one.
it was okay. Yes, you do come and meet some challenges.
Yeah.
But you just have to do it because it's investment for your future.
Right.
So that's how I was looking at it.
Okay.
And just
She's not telling you something great that's happened, which she will in just a second. But what
Yes.
can you say about trying and stumbling
That
and failing?
it's the best lesson ever. You know, it really is. Yesterday I was watching something, I think on Facebook. A lady was saying that she failed and got to rock bottom, and she said that was the best thing that ever happened to her. And a lot of people wouldn't see it that way because sometimes the things that you fear. I always say sometimes the things that you fear may come upon you, and so we have this crazy fear about things. But when they happen, you're like, oh, I'm still here, because
Yeah.
that's one of the statements she made. She said that the things that she feared the most when they happen in her life, she thought if you had asked her what would happen, she'd have thought she'd be dead and finished. But the things happened, but she was still there. So I think it's important to get there. Not everybody does, but it's important sometimes to really fail and then just keep trying, because then you'd never be a success. I run one of the organizations called Kingdom Business Solutions. So as I was saying, I never used to have a successful business. So I was wondering, why am I calling myself a solution provider for businesses, yet I've never had a successful business? But I think that's part of it, is that I know what to do, what not to do, and I've learned many lessons from those failed businesses and failed whatever tries in life,
Right.
And I think also just picking up on failure is because I'm a coach and a mentor. That's what drives me in terms of coaching and mentoring, is the mistakes that I made in my life, but also the positive things that I did in my life, which I can say, this is the way that you need to walk in it, or take a left turn here, take a right turn here, because I've lived life. So out of the experiences of my life, both positive and negative, then I've been able to birth this passion to coach, to train, to mentor, and to pass it on. And even when I look at Althea, I feel like that's that she's all the mistakes I made in my life, I didn't want her to make. So I did my best to coach and mentor, to teach her, to guide her. Yeah, she likes to eat to beat, but anyway, discipline is very important in terms
Mom
of
is
Africa.
a disciplinarian, isn't she? Okay, so the one thing that Althea is not saying is that you tried and applied to London School of Economics,
Yes.
didn't you?
Yes, I
Tell us
did.
that story. And you didn't fail.
Yeah. I applied, I think last year. It's also about hearing God, because Mom kept telling me, check where you want to go and do your postgraduate. So I was like, okay, I kept hearing LSE. But I was like, they do London School of Economics and Political Science. Do they do anything that has media in it? So I just went on and I checked and I saw they did have a media faculty. So I did apply last year in December, and I got in. I think I got my like 3 months ago. So I really thank God because it's such a competitive university, and to get in is something so
oh
good.
my God, congratulations.
Thank you.
Congratulations.
Tell you more.
Tell me more.
That it's a double
It's
major?
a double major. So I graduated with 2 degrees.
Wow.
One from LSE and one from University of Southern California.
That is unbelievable. Imagine if you hadn't tried.
I know, yeah, if I'd been
Right?
too scared of saying, no, LSE is too up there.
Yeah.
But yeah,
So you're going this fall?
in September.
In September.
Yeah.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
That is
Thank
unbelievable.
you, thank God.
Amazing.
Yeah.
All right, we have Ivy on the line who'd like to contribute to the convo. Good morning.
Morning, Kobe.
Hi, how are you, Ivy?
You guys are looking so beautiful today.
Oh, thank you so much. I love our viewers, don't you
I know,
guys?
they're
Yeah,
just
they're awesome.
amazing.
Right, you have a question, honey?
No, actually, I have a comment.
Okay.
I just want to say big up.
Yay.
Yes,
Okay.
to Angie.
Mm-hmm.
I think a bigger part of success is also the support that you get.
Yes.
Yeah, because I remember when I finished high school, what I wanted to do was photography, but my parents didn't really think that it was anything you wouldn't put food on the table.
Right.
So I ended up doing nursing. Actually, what they wanted was for me to do medicine, but I didn't have the grades to do
Yeah.
that, or like be a doctor or anything. But yeah, they just still wanted me to be in medicine. So yeah, I did nursing. I am a nurse.
Yes.
But then later in life, I just realized I still want to do photography.
Good.
So yeah, so I quit that job.
Okay.
Yes, and then so now I'm studying photography. I actually already got an attachment.
Wow. Amazing.
Yes,
Congratulations.
It's based peanuts, I'll tell you that. But I'm happy every day. And you know, the thing that made me get that final step is my mom sort of mellowed.
Yes.
She sort of, I think as time has passed, she's realized it's not like it used to be in the old days and things like that. So she actually mellowed, and you know, she started asking me about photography and things like that. And she's been very supportive. So yeah, I think that's what has made me take that step. And yeah, so I love what Angie and her daughter are doing, and I just want more parents to be as supportive.
Amazing. Thank you so much for sharing your story and for following your passion. What can you say about that? Following your dream, my ring just fell, sorry y'all. Yeah, what can you say about following your dreams, your passion, and where parents come in on this? Yeah.
You see, that's the thing, because I know she also wants to say something, but I think parents, first of all, we have to be very careful as I speak to parents out there. We really must let our children pursue what they want, you know? And times have changed, and life has changed, and they must pursue their purpose and their passion. Because I like saying sometimes we upset God's ecosystem. He has this system all set up. He knows who's the pianist, he knows who's the photographer, who's the nurse, and then we come in and we upset it.
Right.
But then again, I also advise, because we don't want too much conflict in families. So okay, you pursue it, go like she did the nursing, go do it, but then pursue your passion. Don't forget your passion, and you see that passion is leading to something else. I always say, like to Althea, she's doing media, and her passion and purpose is to impact media and the way Africa is portrayed. But look now, the way you take baby steps, and that's another thing about vision. Vision starts with steps and with process. So her fashion blog could lead her to a fashion magazine.
Right.
Could she lead her to a fashion TV show? It could lead her to becoming an expert on fashion and giving feedback and consult. So it's going. There's a vision. It's got life to it.
Yes.
But it's where we start and how we begin to progress there. So I would encourage parents to let children do what they need to do, but also children need to find a way. Like she's still studying her media, you know.
Right.
And then now she's doing the Althea's Closet and the blog. She did an amazing dissertation as well about women enlightening their skin, which I've been challenging her to turn into a book or a digital or something online, because it's important, because it's a big problem why women in Africa, or she found out really all over the world, lighten their skin.
Right.
Because it's a sense of identity. And so you see, that's what I love about vision. It's solving when you identify your vision and execute your vision, it's a solution to humanity. There's a child, maybe a young woman out there who wants to lighten her skin, and here comes something that Althea has done research on, let's say a dissertation, and it's providing a solution.
Right.
But as parents, I think we really need to let our children, you know, and the world has changed.
Absolutely.
The world has
Absolutely.
changed.
I was going to talk on that the world has changed, and also having supportive parents, but also like these days, no one is just only a lawyer. You're doing other things. Like my friends, one does economics, and she has a makeup business that she's doing to just do makeup like bridal looks and stuff.
Right.
So she's in school doing economics, but she also is into makeup. Another friend is also doing finance, but she has a food blog where she talks about healthy eating. And so I think it's these days there's so much, you just don't do one thing.
Right.
You can do many things because of social media and technology and stuff like that. So it's not the traditional way where you just have to be a doctor and nothing else.
Exactly,
Yeah.
exactly. When you look at, of course, the need that is there right now in the country, in terms of people wanting so desperately to achieve their goals and just not knowing how to, or not having the tools available to them, which is why you're having this conference. Tell me a little bit about that need, because for sure Kenyans want someone to guide them or some wisdom, but it's just not happening at the rate we'd like. What can you say?
I think number one, we need to share our stories. So that's what this conference is about, that we have some leaders who will come and share their stories. James Moria and Julian Kula and myself. We just share our stories on what does this journey look like on executing vision? What are the pitfalls we've come across? What are the challenges? So I think even when we gather like that, it's very important for people to then glean and learn from our lessons.
Right.
But I also think that it's important to have wise solutions, because that desperation can also serve in a purpose that is not correct.
True.
Like sometimes I think that we want so much to make it that it's by any means necessary, and that's where we end up being corrupt, and we end up taking shortcuts, and we end up doing things that we really shouldn't do.
True.
So I think we also have to manage that our expectation and manage the fulfillment of vision, because also we can't have everything yesterday. You know, I was laughing yesterday at a lady who was telling me she wants her son to work over the holidays, and he was saying he's being motivated by the money, and I'm like, no, you haven't even you've never worked. How can you be motivated by money?
Right.
We did so many internships, and I guess maybe the world has changed a bit, but we did so many internships unpaid, because what you need to do is get your foot in the door. Then you need to understand what is going on. Like every holiday when she would come, she can't sit in my house. She would do an internship. I'd find her an internship. And some of them, I think, maybe all of them were paid, but that was not the influence. The influence was she's got to go in there, see what it is working in an environment, see how an actual department works. So I like the fact that we have a generation of go-getters, people who really want to get it.
Yeah.
But also, as you get in, I'd like to apply caution. Make sure that you're doing it the right way. Don't be corrupt, because we're trying to raise a generation, and I really believe that we can have a generation that is driven with passion and is not corrupt. Really, corruption is the one. Shortcuts are the problem,
Right.
and trying to get there quicker. Than before.
And
That's
we're
the
seeing
problem.
that. We're seeing that a lot more, Althea. Maybe you can come in on this. When you look at social media, Instagram. I mean, you get on Instagram and you look at someone's life and you want to drop your whole life and you go to become Beyonce. You know?
Yeah.
Because it just looks so attractive and you're wondering, why don't I have that?
Yeah.
And it's created this mentality, and especially in young people, for that shortcuts that your mom is talking about.
Yeah.
How do you feel about that?
Yeah, I think you do feel that pressure of, I want to live this glamorous life, go here, do that. But I think it's about, sorry.
It's okay. I think the caller just snuck in. It's fine. Continue, darling.
It's about just knowing great things take time, and everything, Mama's taught me and in life that everything has a season. And so you have to, like even a child, they first crawl and then they start walking and then you're able to run. So even in life, if you skip one step or you upset the system, if you just want to be just graduated and then you want to live this fabulous life, it can't happen. But you have to learn how to get your first job, take care of that, get your first home. Like everything comes in a process. You can't just jump and have it there.
Can I please say something?
Yes, ma'am.
Like I think you mentioned Beyonce, but I hear she runs on the treadmill singing.
Right.
I mean,
A lot of
people,
behind
they
the
see the
scenes.
glamour, but there's a backstory here, and there's a
Yes.
back sacrifice, because she has to run on the treadmill even singing. First of all, she has to work out like crazy. That's number one.
Keep that body.
To keep that body. Then she has to now, I hear she runs and she sings.
Yeah.
That's,
Training.
there's a lot of work that goes on to it. So sometimes we just look at the end story or the picture that we can see, but there's a backstory, and we don't want to investigate the backstory. And I think that's why conferences like this and others, people are gathering, go listen to the backstory. That's why it's important to get a coach and a mentor. Listen to the backstory so that they say that. And then I also wanted to say, we cannot be, I'm praying for a generation that's not driven with just making money. The things that we do or the solutions that we create are not to make money. Yes, we need the money, but why don't you first get this idea, get this vision, plan it out, get a think tank around it, and then execute it, and then the money will come. But if we're first driven with,
By the money.
I want to make money, I don't think a lot of things work when we just say we just want to make money. What problems do you want to solve? What solutions are you bringing to humanity?
I believe that money will come. I
Yeah.
think when you do and you execute your vision and you're living in your purpose and in your destiny, the money will just come.
will follow.
Absolutely. We have one more
Yeah.
caller on the line before we hear about the details of the conference. Good morning. Hi, James. Are you there?
Yeah, I'm there.
Excellent. Do you have a question or comment, sir?
Yeah, I'm loving what you're talking about being young and successful.
Yes, yes.
Okay, now, about young people these days are like, they want to be successful so fast,
Yeah.
just like they want to wake up and be successful, but
Exactly.
they don't look at the people who are successful and the story behind them being successful.
Yes.
As for me, what I do, I listen so much to my mentors. I avoid procrastination of what I'm seeking, of my vision.
Yes.
I start working on it immediately.
Amazing. Good.
Yeah.
James.
So I'm really loving on how you on what you're talking about, especially when we young people have mentors and we are able to listen to them so that we can be successful.
Absolutely. I want to ask you a question before you hang up.
What
is your vision, James?
My vision is to one day be a governor.
A governor.
Yeah.
I love how specific that was. Yeah, you're gonna do it. Look for me. I'll vote for you if I'm in that county.
I really love leadership,
And
I'd really want to be that person people will my community will look about and will look up to, and really to help my community, since I've seen what they've been through and about our leadership, how it's been since ever. Now that we're in this digital and advanced governance.
Yes.
I think that people need much more young people to lead them.
Yes.
Yeah, my vision one time is to be a governor.
Amazing, James, and I know you probably do it because you
you.
seem very switched on. Thank you so much for your comment. What can you say to James about his vision and what his comments were?
First of all, I'm so excited that he has mentors.
Yeah.
And then I was going to say governance starts with governance of self, just like leadership, that I really pray that he's a person who's governing also himself, because that's what will now transition into governing others. And I don't know, as he spoke, I was thinking just recently we had an event where we were recognizing men who are impacting their society and their area of influence positively.
Yes.
And I just remember Sakaja was one of the people that we gave an award to. But I was thinking, when I was reading up on his profile and his story, his parents were very good mentors and influencers. So parents are very good mentors and influencers because they have to say the right things.
Yeah.
So he says that his dad used to say, "Where's my prime minister?" His mother would tell him, "You're going to be great." So as parents also, we really must encourage even James with his governance role and just lead him to do the right thing, because I think that's very, very important. And you know, he said young people, and when you read about this young man, Sakaja, he was saying that he did a lot. When I read about it, he did a lot. He wanted to do business, so he started a business while he was still in campus. And I was thinking, even like their solutions, I think there are even pizzas in Europe where chains that were started by young people in university. They just wanted to provide a solution for university. So you know, there has to be action. You see, with vision without action is really dead. There must be action. So like he wants to be a governor. So what steps is he taking towards governance, to govern himself? And then they want to be successful. Like, what are you doing? If people are even starting businesses in university, are you doing something like that? Because we say, oh, we want it, but we don't want to take any steps to get it done.
Okay.
There has to be steps to actually getting stuff done.
Absolutely.
And why?
And why you want to
And
get
the
it
why.
done.
And the
Yeah,
why.
like what's the reason you want to be a governor?
Right,
Yeah,
exactly.
so planning that.
Yes, is it about the big cars, the big office, the
Yes.
salary?
Yeah,
No,
because if
it's
it's
about
about that-
impact for the people.
Yeah.
Yes.
And I think he
The
did
mission.
mention that. He
Yeah.
did mention
Yes.
that. Right, the conference is happening,
Yes.
and there's going to be amazing speakers. Give us an overview and tell us how people can get involved and when it is.
Okay, so we started the Unstuck conference because we want people to get unstuck, and we want marketplace leaders to get unstuck.
Yeah.
That's part of it, that, you know, you have this vision, you have this idea, but you don't want to execute it. So we're just going to come together and have a conversation. So we'll have James Moria from Centum just to come and share his story on executive vision, which he has done very well. I think he inherited an organization that was not doing exactly very well, but now is a positive influence in Africa. And then we're going to have Julian Kula, who runs the organization called Mode as well. So he'll come and tell us about his
He's
executing vision. He really is. He's an awesome, dynamic, you know. He's a man who's done a lot. He has a church. He has Mode. He's really done a lot to impact Africa. And then we'll also have there'll be a guest also, Pius Mushiri from Nabo Capital. So he's creating wealth, but wealth solutions in a great and a holistic and a healthy way. So we'll just come and share. That's what I like. My vision is always that people will come, we'll share, we'll learn from one another, we'll coach, mentor, train, we'll identify where we are in terms of our vision, where we need to go, what are the next steps, what action do we need to take. Then you find also like-minded people. You know, there's nothing as encouraging as finding other people who also are feeling stuck, you know, because you could be, sometimes you sell yourself the story that you're the only one who's stuck. No, there are people who are stuck and who want to come and to listen. So it will be at Radisson Blu. It will be on the 6th of August, starting from 8 a.m. And they can call 0705 737373 just to get more information about getting the tickets and everything that they need to get. But I think we just have a conversation about executing vision.
Amazing.
And it would be amazing also if people even from this show would just begin their own conversations about how they can execute their vision.
Awesome. Will you throw a ticket into our hamper?
Yes, definitely.
Amazing. I like that.
Tickets through your hamper.
Okay. Althea, tell us about your closet. Is it your blog is online? What's the name?
Yes, it's Althea's Closet. It's online, so if you just type it into Google, Althea's Closet WordPress, it should come up.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Congratulations
Thank
to
you.
both of you for
Thank
everything
you so
that
much.
you're living your destiny, which is so beautiful to watch. Thank you for being here this morning.